program. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Wicked Wrench of the East Project Story Time. What is up? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hopefully you guys are having a great one. What is going on, everybody? Nobody heard me say anything this morning because I wasn't added to the stream. Way to go, Loki. Way to go. Way to go, bro. Oh, Mary's Game Room. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Penny. Good morning, Penny. I'm sitting there saying good morning to everybody. And yeah, so you can pretty much go back and just add Loki saying good morning to everybody into the opening of the stream, because though I hadn't added myself to the stream. Yay. Good one, dude. Cotton Ministries, what is up? Good morning. How are you doing, brother? The Beaver. What is up, Beaver? Hi, peeps. What's up, Beaver? Good morning. Jules 25, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Nice to see you. Penny, Jill Powers, the River Daughters here. Roll Tide, Kiwi Chow. Roll Tide, brother. Good to see you here. Puddle Jumper is here. What's up? First asthma attack in a while. Really? Holy shit, dude. I hope you're all right. Stay all right. Stay away from that. Asthma bad. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Dave Bob, the Rooster, Dave Bob. The Wrenches, the Bash Brothers, Chris Fersia, Mark the Infinitely Tired, and Project Storytime are here this morning. All three of them. Good morning, gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Everything's going okay. Kicking butt, taking names. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Always fun stuff. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody out there doing? One of the things I wanted to talk about that I've been wanting, Loki the Boomer. Yes. LOL. Boomer. Okay, Boomer. Where's Makini when you need him? Okay, Boomer. Boomer Doomer. God help me. Good morning, everybody. Oh, crap. One of the things I wanted to talk about on this YouTube talk here on Mornings of Mischief this morning was how people view content creators, how people view others that are successful, and the stages that they go through. Because one of the things I've seen a lot of is the demonization of people that got here before you, or the demonization of people that started out with you, or the demonization of, it always happens. It always, whether it's someone that is looking up, going, man, you do this thing, or you do it every other day, or you've created this community, you hear all these different things, you've created this following, you've done this, you've done that. They're jealous. They can be. And suddenly, instead of this, like, keep doing what you're doing and keep busting ass and keep taking names, Dave Bob says dodge. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. How about that? The Tanya Harding Career Advancement Program. Yes, of course. And you see that. You see it, and you're like, wow. You know what? Sometimes you get on a stream with somebody, or you meet them in person, or whatever, and they can be a total dick. Sometimes they're not. It's funny. I've talked to a lot of people about meetups and all kinds of stuff. And the one thing I consistently hear is from the people that go to a lot of them is I met this person, they acted like a total dick, or they snubbed me, or whatever, or blah blah blah. Then a couple of years later, it'll be, dude, I ran into, and it'll be the same person, right? Oh, I ran into blah blah blah. I ran into Billy at the meetup, and man, we sit there and talk for a couple hours, and things were totally cool. But for like 2 years, you said this guy was a complete asshole because you thought he snubbed you. Guess what? All of us have lives. All of us have lives. All of us have things going on in our lives, including these feminazi board beers and threatening to poison their. Wow. That's crazy. I hadn't heard that. Okay, that's a new one. That's a new one on me. That's even worse. And then suddenly they're humanized. They're humbled. It's a humbling experience. Oh, the person wasn't a dick after all. Look how much energy from A to B you just wasted on 2 years of the guy's a total dick. I hate him. Why? Because he had something going on, or he was trying to deal with something, and didn't what, come back and do that for 5 minutes with you. Chart Mark, according to some, I'm a complete asshole. Well, Mark, I mean, you do have a reputation for being the angriest wrench on the internet. Yes. God help me. Don't be so angry, Mark. Don't be so angry. So what do you got to do? This will happen. It happens to everybody. Anybody who has the initiative, anyone who has the drive, anyone who has the ambition is going to have people that do not like them, that blame them for shit that they had nothing to do, that they had absolutely nothing to do with. Or take one, 2-second meeting as, oh, I know everything about them. Why? Because you met them for 2 seconds? Cotton, I love it. I'm not going on a road trip to meet up with assholes on the internet. The off chance I might be wrong about them. Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. But a lot of people do. And a lot of people want to meet up with their buds that they haven't seen in real life. Or the people that kick ass, take names, and chew bubblegum with them. I mean, hell, a lot of people do. A lot of people will go to the meetups for people they ain't even they don't talk to. They're not friends with. I remember one guy. He was like, I sent all this money to this one guy, blah blah blah, and I met him at the meetup, and he talked to me for 5 seconds. And again, listen, you talk to the person in private for 5 seconds. Just because you have watched him on the internet, just because you have listened to him, just because you've thrown out super chats and that doesn't mean that you know them as a person. So when you meet them in real life, you know what their opinions are. You know how they feel about stuff. You know how they light shit on fire and burn stuff down. But you know who they are. Arwen gets it. You don't really know someone until you know them. Know what I mean? Until you know them, until you've spent time around them or talked to them or whatever, you don't know. Someone could be a total dick. You can go on somebody's show as a guest or whatever and think, oh man, that was a great time. Get off and oh, you made this mistake, you gotta follow me here. You realize, oh my God, they're like a perfectionist control freak that has to have everything their way. Some people are like that. Some people go absolutely off. Oh, this isn't right. This isn't right. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you blah, 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 blah. And you're like, some people want to have a conversation with you. They want to get to know you. They want to know your opinion. There's a difference between guesting somewhere and someone actually talking to you, blah, 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 than getting something out of you. Because I guarantee you, at least one of you in here has had someone that's like, this is what I want you to do, and blah, 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 and yada, 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 and da, 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 da. And there is definitely an agenda of why you were there. Some people will treat you just like anybody else. Those are usually the people that got their shit straightened out and know this isn't some giant contest where, oh, I'm going to have you on my show and it's going to be perfect. I'm going to show everybody what's up, yada, 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 yada. It doesn't work like that. Some people they will use whatever tools presented to them. What do you mean? Look here, you saying I'm a tool? Some people will look at you that way. Some people will look at you as a tool. Some people will look at you as just a person that's coming by to blah, blah, blah. I do that all the time now. Get back to simping. Dega. I was on a panel stream once with Az for about 30 minutes. I don't pretend to say I know him. We talked about the topic at hand. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, some people get into their head that oh, he's, I spent 30 seconds with him on a blah blah blah, and I think I'm the greatest yada yada ever. And there are people we think we know real well, and then they show their true colors. But at least it is a good thing to know that sooner rather than later. What do you mean? And I'm going to get Arwen here. What do you mean by showing their true colors? How did they show their true colors? Give me an example. Give me an example of how they showed their true colors. Let me know. Tire Mark, oh, you're talking about someone who is a control freak and leaves no room to have fun because they were always right? Not necessarily, but I'll take it. I'll take that. So getting to know you in the Bible meant something different. Yes, of course. The point is that we go through these stages where it's like, I think they're great. They do this and this, and they encourage people, and yada yada yada. And then you spend 2 seconds with the person and think that absolute asshole. Da, 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 da. Why? Because you spent like 2 years to getting to know them on the internet. They don't know you. Guess what? Guess what? I'm gonna give you all a secret. Let's see here. Let's see where. What can I use? We use Jill. Jill is in the chat. Jill types out stuff in the chat. Jill's come on the show before, and hung out. I don't know a lot about Jill. Jill knows a lot about me. I don't know a lot about Jill. Jill knows what I go on and I do when I talk about and how I feel about things, and then I'm passionate and fire up the forge Valhalla, and she knows how I feel about stuff. She's got a good idea because I'm just me on here. I don't pretend to be anybody else. I'm not up my own ass, which is what I think about the people that think way too much about themselves. But she pretty much knows how I feel about stuff. I don't know all that. Why? Because I don't watch Jill all the time. I'm not around, and Jill doesn't like go live every other day or whatever and talk about yada yada yada. I know that she likes Fallout. She was wearing a Fallout shirt when she showed up. I know that she talked about Fallout 76. There are topics of conversation that while she guested over here, I think it was one morning when I just opened up the invite, I opened the door. I know that. But she knows a lot more about me than I know a lot about her. So when you go to one of these, even if you've talked in chat, even if you might have popped on, I might be like, I know her, and we talk, and oh, I'm Jill, and oh my God, Jill, and we sit there and talk for 5-10 minutes, whatever, or someone comes to a meetup or whatever, see each other in a meetup or yada yada, and we talk, and because we kind of have gotten to know each other, but I don't really know a lot about her. She knows more about me because I'm on here talking about this all the time. I'm talking about all kinds of shit. So I know you hate this Loki. Oh, I know you like this Loki. And I'm like, oh, well, she knows. She knows because I've talked about it. But I don't know a lot about her besides Fallout, and she plays Fallout 76, and she's a Fallout fan. And I know, that's the information I have. Loki doesn't pay attention to his chat. Confirmed. Unsubscribed. I do, but there is a lot going on. One of the things someone kept telling me was like, "Oh, you need someone in the backstage." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I like seeing the comments. I like reading the comments. I like pointing out the comments, especially the ones that make me laugh. I may be marshmallow, but I'm not a yes man. Right there. Logan, when they say one thing, your family, etc., and then drop you at the first sign of conflict, even when things are good, when you don't take their narrative on things, etc. Okay, now I've got to ask, and Arwen's gonna be like, "Damn it, Loki, I've got to type more." What do you mean by drop? Drop you? Does that mean pulling back from the conversation? Does that mean like never speaking to you again? What does that mean? What does it mean to you? Because I know what it means to me. When I drop somebody, they're effing dropped. I don't expect to hear from my ass ever That's just the way it is. And you got to do something pretty fucking heinous to be in that camp. Do you know the amount of shit I put up with the first couple of years I was here? You have got to do something pretty damn radical for me to be like, nope, never speaking to you again. I remember I got into it with this guy who we had hung out for a while, but I remember getting into it with this guy and just being like, not dealing with the drama. I'm not dealing with the drama. I'm not dealing with the headache. I'm not dealing with nothing. Up out of nowhere, messaged me a couple months ago, and I was like, "What's up?" And I can't remember what they said. They said something, and I responded. I didn't hear from them again after that. If I drop someone, there is no like send a message to Loki. Loki responds. And if you're like, Loki, the last message I sent you on X, you never responded. It doesn't mean I dropped you. That just means I probably missed it. Ghosting, no more contact. Out. If things are that bad, then they will know why. At least for me. If something has gone that bad, you're gonna know, hey, that's it. Done. Finished. Finito. There will be no question. Not for me, anyway. There's so much context in that, Arwen, because like what happened? What went down? Was it a slight disagreement? Was it like a fight to the death? Were knives out? I mean, there's so much that goes into that now. 5 years ago when I first started, I'd have been like, no, you talk and you work it out. But that's 5-year-old Loki that, I mean, pretty much let everybody get away with everything. I wouldn't say I let people walk on me, but it was a different time. I was a different person then. I was a different person 5 years ago when I started this. And there's some shit I went through. You can ask Adega. Pretty much ask anybody that was here year one. I tried to smooth shit over with people. Hey, we're family. We get along and da 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 da. And things that I should have just been like, you deal with that shit on your own. You don't need me to help you. I try to be polite. However, do not try to run over me. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. There you go. Lester, San Jose the Skeptic. My thinking is if you want to talk to me, talk to me. Talk to me regularly. Trying to jump through hoops, trying to work smooth shit out, trying to make sure everybody now there's just if you can't get along with him, then don't. But there ain't no buts. If you can't get along with him, then don't get along with him. If you can't get along with her, that's Loki. No, if you can't get along with her, then just don't get along. I can't tell you who to get along with, who to be friends with, who to do what with, blah 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 blah. I'm not going to. I'm absolutely not going to. Why? Because I have 20 other things I've got to take care of that take precedence before I can go, okay, you hold your hand, you hold that hand, and kiss, make up, whatever. Arwen says they had an issue with a friend of mine, and I told them to talk to them. That was it. They cut off all communication just because I told them to nut up and talk with their friend, and they did not, do it. The Council of Lokis disagree. Yeah, that no shit. Maybe they were scared. Maybe they had had enough. Maybe they had had a bad day. Maybe they were at the end of the rope. I don't know. Yes, whoever said that, Gary Banderstam with working. Thank you. I might have a degree in psychology, but I ain't no damn Dr. Phil. And I've tried. My friends, especially the ones here, know there are times where I have tried. I have done my very best. I've tried to help friends get along. I've tried to smooth shit over. I've tried to do it. There are times where I will be like, if I've got to make a call, I've got to make a call. That's not me dreading anything, but that is me going, you know what? I love y'all and I really don't want to see anything bad happen. And I'm told that's no, you don't do that. Don't do that. Let them just less for you to get blamed for it. And I have been blamed for it. That show more maturity at mealtime than this person. Well, and there you go. There's your answer. There's your answer. Because as much as I'm like, you know what, I'm not dealing with the bullshit, and I'm not. You can ask people out there. I used to talk to Loki all the time. I barely hear from Loki. By all means, call me and tell me how great everything's going. Or tell me, shit. You don't have to tell me how great everything's going. But damn. Handle their own shit. That's right. If you can't handle your own shit, and sometimes friends need a hand. And that's one thing. Sometimes friends need a hand. Sometimes friends, they need that come here. You know. I know there's been so much shit that, and only so much shit somebody can take too. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Project Storytime. Thank you, A Day Gal. I don't know. You've got to get to the point where you go, okay, this is, these are priorities. This is stuff I can if I take care of priorities. Because if not, I'd be bouncing around like a pinball. I would. I'd be bouncing around like a damn pinball if I didn't. And I have before. Snowdub says go and tuck and roll. I think people don't want to face reality. We are extras in most people's movie of life. You are not on the minds of others, and adding drama will only get you cut from the time they have. If something's going on with somebody, I'm there. When Pops had when Florida had the hurricane, most of our friends in Florida, I'm calling, I'm checking, I'm making sure they're okay. Same thing when it hit when that one hit Louisiana. I was calling people, making sure they were okay. People that I knew, people that I had the number for, calling and checking on them. I'm not even talking about that. That is just me being me and making sure that people, I know and care about are okay. I'm talking about pointless drama, BS. You know, stuff that they can handle. I have amazing friends whom I love dearly, so that person is no loss. And sometimes we find that, when someone has treated us like that or someone has done something like that, the evacuation of them is like, oh, weight off your shoulders. Oh, crap. It's like I was carrying around this body bag around my shoulders when I shouldn't have, when I didn't need to. Pointless drama gets gets old real quick. Pointless drama gets old really quick. Uncredited extra. I don't know about that. You're a brother. What does that mean? It means you get a co-star role. Dave Bob's like, I'm extremely introverted. I live out in the woods and I like to go out and shoot in the woods. Do not come out in my woods. Dave Bob's like the rooster version of the big bad wolf. I will huff and I will puff and I will blow this bitch down. Getting caught in the fallout of other people's drama is never fun. Sometimes it's walking away for a time to let people figure themselves out. Sometimes it is. There was, you know what? There was a really good friend of mine that we got into it. We didn't talk for like a whole year. And I was sitting there and I was working and I was working on a video or something. Or I was filling out something. I can't remember. Anyway, my phone starts to buzz and I was like, "Oh shit." Ah, that's funny. I said my phone starts to buzz and a 1-800 number calls me. So my phone starts to buzz and I'm like, oh shit, it's okay. What's up? And we talked about what had happened and both set shit straight. No, we can call each other, text each other, whatever, whenever. That shit's okay. And honestly, a lot of that wasn't even, a lot of that was because they were having an issue with somebody else. And it got thrown over in my lap. What do you mean it got thrown over in your lap? I got to hear about it all the time. So, because someone has a problem with somebody else, you hear about shit and you're like, man, do they really act like that? Do they really do that? And then they do something and you're like, I see it. And you say something about it. And all because someone else is bringing drama to your door. You mean you handled things like an adult? I don't know if I handled things like an adult or not. I don't know. I said something. About it. I didn't keep my mouth shut about it. If you think that's rough, try having colleagues who destroyed your career out of petty jealousy and their own bigotry. I'm yeah. I've tried. They've tried, and more, and more. So it's just, you're gonna have these outside influences. You're gonna have these people that believe that they know everything about you. They know just what you do, and then you do something unexpected, and they're like, "Holy shit!" But I'm not kidding about the meetup thing, where this guy went to a meetup, thought oh, I'm cool with this person. Went to a meetup, they just kind of blew him off. I don't know if they did it on purpose. I don't know if they were busy. I don't know what's going on. But I want to tell you something. You go to one of these, like I've been to 4 or 5 of them, some of the big ones, and people are busy. There's a lot of running around. There's a lot of doing things. And there's a lot of things you don't think about when you're sitting there and you want to meet this person and you want to talk to them and you want to, see what they're like or go up and meet them or say how much you appreciate whatever. There's tons of shit that you have no idea about. So always keep that in mind. That this whole, I'm going to demonize this person because, well, they didn't shake my hand right. They didn't talk to me enough. Or they didn't blah blah. Some of this I just can't believe I even hear about. Oh, I hate that son bitch. Why? Because he didn't really talk to me when I'm like, what are we, 5? Why did you go there to meet this person? Well, you should have been there to meet everybody and hang out with everybody, get to know people. And it's not just all this idolization shit. It's about getting to meet people and getting to know people and getting to hang out with people that you might have never gotten the opportunity to otherwise. There's so much more about that than just I want to go and I want to hang out with this person and blah, blah, blah. I want to meet them. Well, there's a bunch of people you want to meet. Some people you definitely don't. My mother, God rest her soul, used to be a shit stir. I'm in that club, Dean. And what I mean is with the moms. She had like a cauldron, a whole cauldron with one of those like damn like boat oars for stirring the cauldron of shit. That was my mom. I had a good friend of mine ask why she hated him. I did not have a good answer other than she wanted us to fight. We are still friends. Because moms think they know everything and this is the way it is and blah, blah, blah. That's why. And sometimes, and you got to remember something, moms are women too. No matter what the media, the legacy media tells you, moms are women too. So all the bundle of sunshine that comes with being, there you go, all that's in there too. Sometimes women are vindictive and women, and it doesn't matter whether it's your mom, it doesn't matter whether it's your wife, it doesn't matter whether it's your girlfriend, it doesn't matter whoever the hell it is. They can be vindictive and vicious and Arwen like a cauldron of shit stirring. Not the cool kind of cauldron. A cauldron of shit stirring. God help me. That was mine. So that's just the way it is. God help me. Selective hearing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Selective hearing. All kind of denial is not a river in Egypt. All kinds of fun little puns and quotes and shit you grow up with. And learning how to dodge China being thrown at you. I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about fine dining China. Thrown across the living room. That, I swear, she had to have gone to like ninja school, something, because we had this long hallway, right? So you've got like the bathroom and my bedroom and the master bedroom and then another room and then this long hallway that you'd come down and then you'd open up into the living room. So it was like, you came out through the door into the living room. You had, walls on both sides. Then boom, you were out in the huge open living room. You'd have to tuck and roll. I'm not kidding you. You just go and tuck and roll, bitch, and roll. If she was mad and you popped your head out, expect a coffee saucer about that big to come flying through the air, like Blade's spin blade that he's got in Blade, through the air, right at your head. Tuck and roll, bitch, and run. Out the front door, down the street, and off the block. Why? Because she was pissed off at something, and you stuck your head out, and it was the first thing she saw that she was like, "I'm gonna nail you, you son of a bitch." I remember when I saw, what's the movie with the glaive? The glaive. You must find the glaive. The sword and sorcery movie with the glaive. Anyway, I can't think of the name of it right now. First time I saw that, I was like, so that's how she does it. Crawl. Thank you. Thank you. Crawl. I own it. I should know the damn name of it. Yeah, yeah. That was just the way it was. Women can be, even moms. Even moms have that. And you don't see that because you're like, mom, nurture, teacher, parent, blah, blah, blah. But it's still a woman. How many new plates did your dad have to buy after a deployment? God help him, dude. One of the craziest thing was finding these tapes. You talked about deployments. You brought this up, Pat. It's your fault. And really quick, Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass is gifted 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. Parrot Head was gifted a membership. DJ Odyssey was gifted a membership. Ibun Khan was gifted a membership. Gundam Wing Zero, what a badass name, was gifted a membership. And Brady 2882 was gifted a membership. Thank you so very much, Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass, for your gift of 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. You guys keep the fires burning bright and welcome everyone to the Viking Horde. Skull! Yeah! God, moms, dude. What are you going to do? So I was going through boxes and these boxes of stuff, and I found these tapes, and I was like, "What the hell are these?" They were just blank cassette tapes. And I was like, maybe they're still good, and I can record over them and put some music in them. Project Storytime says Loki, my stepfather, tried to hide behind a newspaper once. My mom dipped a tea towel in dishwasher and whipped it. Ooh. So I'm like messing with that. I've got a whole box of these tapes. I have no idea what's on them. It doesn't say anything. I throw them in, and I'm listening, and I'm like, that's my dad. And it was my dad, and you could hear the planes trapping on the carrier while he was making the recording. Okay, if you want to know how cool that sounds, go watch Top Gun or something and listen to how they make their traps. A trap is when the plane comes down and the tail hook traps on the cable and stops the plane. It holds the plane, keeps the plane from flying off the other end of the deck. It catches. It's called a trap. Anyway, you could hear it going on in the background. And man, he was so just like, I miss you. I miss you. I miss, I miss little Loki and I miss little Thor. And can't wait to see you guys again. When I come back, we're gonna go to SeaWorld, and we're gonna go to Disneyland, and we're gonna go and do this and da 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 da. All this stuff he'd be talking about he wants to do when he's back from deployment. Because he only gets like a month. So there's like 6 months he'll do out. He'd be gone for 6 months. And then he'd be back for 6 months. But 5 months he'd be doing training stuff, like there in San Diego. So he'd still be flying all the time, but it was all training stuff, getting ready for their next deployment. But 1 month he'd have off. So we'd go and do all kinds of stuff. It was like, full speed ahead on SeaWorld, Disneyland, going to the beach, going to do whatever, because we only had that 1 month. And then he'd be like, I love you guys, give Loki a hug for me, blah, 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 blah. And then you'd hear her. And that was the most eye-opening experience I think I'd ever had in my life. What's up, Naptosa? Good morning, brother. Good to see you. Where she's talking about the I couldn't budget the checkbook because yeah, you had to budget shit back then. I couldn't get the vacuum to work, so I bought a new one, and I think I overdrafted the account. I'm gonna need you to send me more money. I'm gonna need you to blah 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 blah. I'm gonna need you to. I can't be here. I've got to get little Loki into a nursery. I gotta blah 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 blah. And it was like one giant run on of how everything's falling apart at home and you need to come home now. Everything's falling apart at home. You have to come home now. And I listened to more. And the more I listened, the more messages were like, this is what's going on and this is what we're doing here. We had a fire on the ship. We had to blah, blah, blah. I love you. You guys have been so great. I can't wait to see you again. I can't wait to go do this. Let's do this when we get back. We can talk about where we're going to do this and yada. And it was just like, oh, dude, I'll tell you what happened day one. They let me out in the back and I ran straight to the fence. Boom. And I jump up on the fence and there was, wasn't barbed wire, but it was like the twisties, the metal twist, and I cut my hand. And because I had never hopped a fence like that before. All the fences I'd hopped didn't have the little metal twisty top things at the top. So first day at a nursery, cut my hand wide open on a chain fence. Yeah. Because I didn't want to be there. Now, I will admit, I was a handful. I was a hyperactive little shit. I had nothing but energy. And I knew it. I had nothing but energy and I knew it. But I never got over listening to those tapes. Because it was like listening to two different lives. Two completely different lives. Of two people that it weren't connected. It was so weird and detached for me to listen to my dad talk about missing being around and we're working hard and I can't wait to get back home and compared to what it was like for her. Because for her it was like the world was ending. He had to come home now. That's what it constantly was. And I remember taking I had a boombox. Every kid had a boombox back in the day with a tape player. I remember taking it in the living room, plugging it in, getting the TV. My mom sitting there smoking Benson Hedges cigarettes with a cup of coffee. What are you doing? And I'm like, listen. She goes, oh, that's your dad when he was on my aircraft carrier. I'm like, uh-huh. And then it got to her, and she was like, I don't ever want to hear these again. And I was like, yeah. You know what you were doing. You know what you were doing. I know what you were doing. You know what you were doing. He even knows what you were doing. Snowed up with 99-cent super sticker up. It's making a face. It's got, yeah. Thank you so much for the shocked look of the super sticker. You guys keep the fires burning bright. Here in Valhalla, what do we got? I know. We'll give him $1 bill.
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a $1 bill.
Take your hat off, boy. That's a $1 bill. Somebody remind me, I owe Snowdub a super chat. Pretty good super chat. Somebody remind me that. I know he was on yesterday, but I didn't get to see yesterday. I didn't know he was going to do a Taco Tuesday. So he hasn't been doing a lot of extra stuff lately. Our boy Snowdub. but he's been working his ass off. So don't get it wrong. Be like, oh, Lug said you weren't doing nothing. You can just see that shit happening. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Snowdo's been busy, been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I get that. Do you think I want to run around and do all this extra doctor shit? You think I want to do that? You think I want to spend like, a couple hours of my day multiple times a week going to deal with doctors and shit? No, absolutely freaking not. I had a urologist yesterday. Guess what that was like? It was funny because I go in there and he's like, okay, check. You were good here. Everything's good. We don't have to stick a camera in anything. And I'm like, cool. And the whole time I'm thinking, couldn't y'all just called me? Is there a reason, And then he's like, I don't have to see you for 9 months. See ya. And I'm like, y'all could have just called me and been like, hey, you're good. Thanks. Isn't that like the normal thing? Or is it just we gotta get that second appointment in, and then we'll get him in regularly, yearly. We'll get his oil changed once a year. Project Cambrian calls it a swipe the card appointment. No shit, right? I mean, and I like this guy. I like him. He's cool, I went in, with the Metallica shirt on. He was like, dude, cool shirt. I'm like, oh, yeah. He goes, I used to listen to that when I was going through medical school. I had that blasting in my ears 24/7. I was like, okay, that's cool. So I've got kidney doctor. I've got to get through this month. They want that copay. Well, they want that insurance money. I guarantee you they charge the insurance twice as much. And someone was telling me this the other day, and I absolutely couldn't believe it. So there's a program for people that get diabetic supplies, There's a program. There's a government program, right? You can go in and you just get all this shit for free. They just give it to you. They're like, there you go. Diabetes. Make sure you go and check your diabetes, right? But if you have insurance, they charge your insurance like $2,000. And you have to pay. So the guy that was explaining this was to me was like, I've got a lady that, I would love to just give this shit to and be like, here, you can have it. But he's not allowed to do that. He's not allowed to even bring it up because she has insurance. So because of the rules and the way it works, because you're coming in with insurance, you've got to pay, it's like I said, your insurance ends up paying like $2,000. You end up paying like, $50, whatever it is. But there's a program here in the United States where you get all that shit for free. Now, no, you're like, what do you mean? What is free? I mean, they literally give it to you for free. Do you have insurance? No. Okay, here's the medicine. I'm not going to charge you for this. We're going to scan it though, and we're going to put this deal in $000. And I'm going to give you these testing supplies $000. Okay, now what they do is they get money from the state or from the federal government to give you this stuff. And they're just giving it to you. This does not make any sense whatsoever. I know. But if this is our government. But because you said, I have insurance, then you have verbally agreed that you do not qualify for this free program. And they're not allowed to bring it up that if you don't have insurance, we're just going to give you all this shit for free. But if you do have insurance, we're going to charge you like $2,000. And you're going to have to pay us like $20, $50, something. For the same thing. There's so much of this stuff I wish I knew when I was broke. Naptosa, Good RX, right? Something like that. I had a commercial when I was a kid. It's pretty much any of them. And have you seen some of the shit? So when I broke my foot, they gave me a prescription for this fancy dancy Tylenol, right? So they give me this fancy dancy Tylenol, and I go and I get it filled, and it says partial fill on the bottle. And I'm like, partial fill? What the shit? I open it up, and it's at the bottom, partial refill due. Okay. They gave me 20 of them. I've got a refill. I call, do. We will have to contact your doctor because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to, if I've got a partial refill, then I don't need you to contact my doctor and do shit. So I call them. And they're like, per food, FDA, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We can't give you more than that. And I'm like, okay, well, go ahead and give me my partial refill. And then, without missing a beat, I shit you not, they go, because you didn't get it refilled within the first 24 hours, we by law can't give you the rest of it. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. First, you can't give me what the doctor prescribed me because you can only give me a limited amount. Yes? Yes. So you give me that amount. Yes. And then you can't fill this because I waited more than 24 hours to get it filled. Yes. So if I'd have picked this up and said, can you please give me the other part of this within 24 hours? You could give it to me. No. Why not? Because we can't give you more than 20 for 24 hours. Okay, so wait a second. I've got 24 hours to get the rest of this prescription from you. Yes. But you can't give me another prescription in 24 hours. Yes. And she goes, and mind you, these aren't our rules. This is the FDA and yada, yada. This is their rules. So I stopped going to that pharmacy. And I go to, because that's pretty wacko. I'm like, that can't be like that everywhere. I'm not buying this bullshit 24-hour thing and believing the government that it's all the government. So I go to a different pharmacy and I start getting my prescriptions there. They just give me what the damn doctor prescribed me. Whereas, and Walgreens is worse. Walmart, which is where I used to go. Walgreens, CVS. I'm sure there's more. I know those are the major ones. They have self-imposed limits on what they will give you. And if you've been in an accident or something's going on, I'm sorry, do not dick around with me. Do not no. We're not gonna play these games. Oh, it's not us, it's them. Well, then why do other pharmacies do what they do? They just fill the damn script. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not someone sitting there begging for bullshit. Just do what the damn doctor said. And Dega is the man when it comes to all of it. You folks ever want truth on all this medical hijinks? Give me a good Thursday night. Yeah, and he will too. So he will too. God help me. I understand that there's a problem. Shit, I work with people that have that problem. there's no using your brain anymore. There is none of that. We have got Machini draws coming up after this. Machini is part of the morning block. I'm hoping we get some Snow Dub soon. I really am. I'm hoping we get some Snow Dub. If Snow Dub comes back to the morning, it will be Snow Dub, Loki, Machini in the morning block. And we will have a full-blown morning block back again. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope it happens. I know some other people are like, yeah, Snow Dub in the morning. I don't know if he'll be able to do it or not, but I hope he will, because I love doing that. I love working with all three of these wonderful gentlemen. Guys, yeah, don't dick around. Don't dick around. Has anybody ever wondered why that's such a weird looking? Doesn't look like that. So, guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. Make sure you stick around for Machini's show coming up right now on the morning block. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.